Welcome to True Fan, True Opinion. I'm your host, Sue. I'm a lifelong sports fan who believes being a true fan doesn't mean blind agreeing with everything your team does. It means caring enough to tell the truth. Each week, I'll dive into the biggest stories involving Canadian teams and athletes, while also talking about the latest from the NHL, PWHL, MLB, NFL, and whatever else has the sports world talking. You get honest opinions, real conversations, and absolutely no sugarcoating. So whether we agree or disagree, I'm glad you're here. Let's get into it. So here we are with the Blue Jays team, mid-season, and how are you feeling about them? Are you disappointed? Are you still excited? Well, I thought for this episode I will do a mid-season report card. Talk about the good, the bad, things we can expect. I'll give you my top 10 players of the year. So shall we get right into it? So at the beginning of the season, my preseason expectations were very optimistic, right? Coming off the World Series. And we thought, wow, can they actually do this again? Take first place right from the beginning, go all the way to the playoffs, and actually win the World Series. So I was very optimistic, especially with the way the players played in the World Series, with heart, with grit. We all loved them, right? And a lot of these players during the YBC, or I should say WBC, they were good. A lot of them played well for their countries. And I thought and I expected that this would carry through the momentum. Would there be some bumps, some slumps, some injuries? Sure, every team goes through it. But now I'm realizing, wow, this team is not quite the same. So anyways, here we go. I'm going to give you my mid-season report card for the Toronto Blue Jays of 2026. A lot of you might not agree with this, but here we go. My overall grade for this team is a C. Now, some of you guys might think that's fair, and I'm sure some of you guys might hate me for giving a low grade, but let me go through some of the things why I think they are a C team. Most of these players are not playing to their potentials or even to their expectations, our expectations of them. Yes, I know you guys can say, Sue, but there's been way too many injuries. Yes, I totally agree. Way too many injuries. I mean, all teams are going through it, but yes, this team has a little bit more injuries than we thought we would have, especially with the starting pitchers at the beginning of the season. And I get that. And I bet you without all these injuries, I probably would be grading them a higher B, B+, maybe even an A. Maybe they'll be at the top of their division. But as of right now, they are below 500 and they are either near last place in their division. The team is asking way too much from their players, especially their bullpen. And what I mean by that is the players are not playing in the roles that gives them the opportunity to win, to succeed. In the bullpen, we are asking way too much for this bullpen. The lineup isn't consistent, right? The lineup is switched every day, and we get that, right? With certain injuries like the Bargers, the Kirkies, you can't have that consistent long lineup. And George Springer in there as well before at the beginning of the year, Nathan Lucas, and we're going to talk about all that. So to get to this grade, overall grade of a C, I'm going to break it down into some groups, okay? So we're going to talk about starting pitchers, the bullpen, the positional players, coaching staff, front office, all the good stuff. So let's start with the starting pitchers. Overall, are they great? Are they good pitchers? Yeah, they really are. But the injuries at the beginning of the year, we couldn't get a consistent 5 starters. We couldn't even get 4 starters. We had to do 3 starters and bullpens. And that hurts us. Now, some of them have been pitching very well, and now we're seeing them slump a little bit. And some of them came back, and they're doing very well. So I'm looking at Kevin Gausman. Great start, doing very well. Having a hard time right now. Dylan Cease. Didn't really have him for a bit, and now he's pitching great. You Savage. Wow, what a stud, right? But he wasn't there at the beginning of the year. If we had him in the rotation, would have given us a little bit more of a chance with the bullpen. Starting pitchers, they get a B. even with those injuries. Bullpen, I'm giving them a B. They have been asked to do a lot from the beginning. They are still being asked to do a lot. And some of these pitchers have really increased their workload. Shout out to Fisher and Fluharty. As well as some of them have stepped it up, like Spencer Miles, even Tommy Nance after injury. So the bullpen gets a B. Positional players. Well, here we go, right? I'm giving them a C. And yes, we love these guys. And yes, we know they're giving their heart and they're trying so hard. We know all this. But are they meeting their expectations, their potential? No. Some of them are, yes, and we will be talking about that. But I think some of these certain players need to look at themselves in the mirror and just say, what the heck is going on? I see it. The defense is not where it was, and we took pride in that last year. And we're missing that this year, as well as hitting. And I'm not a baseball player, and you hear all the analysts and broadcasters saying, oh, they need a plan at the plate, and they look for this certain ball and that. You know, have a game plan. Only swing at the pitches you're looking for. Okay, great, but you got to start hitting them. And you got to start bringing people in when they're on base. We are losing too many games right from the beginning, right from the get-go. So yeah, position players, C. Coaching staff. Okay, now I know a lot of you guys out there might not like John Snyder. And I know the other half, you guys love him. I've always been a John Snyder fan. I still am. But I do find myself questioning a lot of his moves this year. Many moves. Especially with the bullpen and with the lineup. I would love to see a little bit more consistency. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I like that third and fourth cleanup hitters. Do I see Ernie Clement hitting fourth? And I know he only did it a few times, but no, Ernie should not be hitting fourth. So the coaching staff, even though, first base, third base coach, I've seen the third base coach maybe should have not made somebody run to home plate, and maybe they should have at times. I'm not saying I would be a better coach. I'm just saying I'm giving them a C. The front office. Okay. This is the one I had a little bit of trouble with, but I am going to give them a B. I'm giving them a B because what we did in the offseason to put this team on the field, right? They got Cease, they got Ponce, they got Okamoto. Wow. They got some pieces in there. Now, it's not their fault that players got hurt. It's not their fault that players are not playing to their potential. Now, let's see what they do before the trade deadline. One, we have to see if we're sellers or buyers. But the front office will get a different grade moving forward because I think they still have about 2-3 weeks before I can actually give them a full mid-season grade. So overall, I'm thinking the team sitting at a C, but I know that there's so much more that they can give and there's a lot of potential. And if we can get the players healthy and playing with that grit from last year, I know that we're going to have a better second half. So here I'm thinking at this time that I'm going to do a mid-season ranking of my top 10 Blue Jays for the first half. Again, some of you guys are going to agree and some of you guys are going to disagree. And again, please leave me a comment. We can discuss. All right, top 10. Jesus Sanchez. I put a lot of thought in this. I wasn't sure if he's going to be in my top 10. I'm not putting him there because of the defense, because if anybody knows me, I do not like his defense at all. But this kid can hit. He's got a lot of power. I do like his energy. So for that, I'm giving him the 10th place. 9th place, Andreas Jimenez. Okay, so with him, I'm a big fan of him. He comes up with big hits at certain times. His bunts, they are timely. I think he gives a little spark at the end of the lineup for us. I think everybody loves him. You could tell he loves playing the game. His defense is outstanding. And he even smiles when he makes these plays. he sometimes amazes himself, and I love that. All right, 8th, Tyler Rogers. This guy, wow, never mind his arm angle, and you can probably give him the ball every day. He's got like a rubber arm or something. I don't know. I wish I could pitch like that. But really, if he wasn't on this team, I don't know where we would be for the bullpen, especially for the bullpen. I think he's a stud in there. I think he's a leader in there. And I just love having him on our team. 7th, Ernie Clement. Wow, all-star. That's awesome. Go Canada. I know he got in there because of Canada's voting. And I'm sure the World Series from last year got a lot of Americans to vote for him. He's top 7. I'm a little disappointed in his defense this year. But is it because of his injury? Is he playing with a sore hip all year? Regardless, he's hitting so well. He's a spark in this lineup. Everybody loves him. He's even doing lots of commercials now. It's great to see. This guy's like a hockey player. He's got that grit. Just a really good athlete, good player. So he's number 7 for me. 6th place, Kevin Gausman. Just a steady pitcher, right? Goes out there every start. He has a game plan for his hitters. He's a leader in that dugout, in the bullpen, in that locker room. Everybody loves the way he works. But just a steady guy. Somebody asked me, Sue, what do you think of Kevin Gausman? I just think he's a great guy, right? Just a solid pitcher. Now, I know he's had a couple rough starts, but they're going to do that, people, right? Starters are going to have bad games. Starters are going to have great games. But overall, he's just steady. So he's number 6 for me. Number 5, Nathan Lucas. Okay, at the beginning of the season, he was awful, right? At the plate, we get it. Then we found out we had vertigo. They figured it out. Awesome. After that, he was one of our top hitters, if not the top hitter. And then he gets the injury. But overall, he's just a very solid player. Maybe not the greatest hitter, but a very good hitter. Okay? Defense. Maybe not the greatest defense, but very good outfielder. You know you have somebody that comes in, works hard every day, going to try and play that game right, doesn't get too hard on himself, doesn't get too high as well. Just a steady, solid player. So he's number 5. Number 4, you guessed it, Trey Day, right? Trey Usavage. I just wrote down here, when I think of Trey Usavage, I wrote, kid got stuff. This kid is going to be so good. Solid player, just built to be a pitcher. Love his energy. I love how humble he seems. He loves being on this team. He loves what he can do every 5 days. And like I said, he's just a kid with great stuff. And I think the ceiling is just high for this guy. And I'm glad he's on my team. Number 3. And I can say honestly, besides Laddie, Kazuma Okamoto. He is my favorite player this year. Love this guy. I was happy when we signed him, even though I didn't know much about him. Just did a little bit of research, figure out what he did in Japan. But I love this guy. I remember seeing him the first couple at bats, and I'm like, this guy's going to be so good. Yeah, does he strike out a lot? Sure. But he's our home run leader right now, guys. So let him strike out every so often. He's come up with some big hits lately in the 8th, 9th inning. Just an awesome player. His defense, a little shaky at first, but making some really good plays of late. So you know what? He's my number 3. Top 3. Number 2, somebody that was so excited when we signed, Dylan Cease. So yeah, I know what you guys are going to say. A lot of high pitches, sometimes inconsistent. And I get that. Thank God he can pitch 100 pitches every time he goes out. But this guy's got good stuff, guys. And he's a stud out there. He's another guy that's a leader in the clubhouse. You know, very professional, does the right thing, says the right thing. And I think this was a great signing. Just love it. Again, high pitch counts. Would I like to see him go longer into the games? Sure. Extra innings, go into 6, 7 innings instead of 5, 6. Sure. And I believe he will. He's just got too much good stuff. All right. Number 1. And I'm sure you guys have guessed it by now. because I haven't mentioned him, Louis Varland. Wow, what a year so far. Actually, it started probably mid-season last year, right? When we got him and in the playoffs. But this year, wow, look what he's done. He's going to be going to the All-Star, right? He should be there. I can't see why not. If we didn't have this guy, how many games would have we lost even more in those 8th, 9th inning? Just a great, pit bull guy. He just grinds out there. He just works hard. His energy, that back slap, what the coach does with him in the bullpen before he comes out, that's just amazing. I love to see Varland take the ball and come in and just finish the game for us. So, all right, guys, those are my top 10. Again, comment if you guys agree or disagree. So, just a recap: 10, Sanchez; 9, Jimenez; 8, Rogers; 7th, Clement; 6, Gosman; 5th, Lucas; 4th, Trade Savage; and 3rd, coming in, Okamoto, who I'm such a big fan. 2, Dylan Cease, and 1, Louis Varland. All right, so mentioning my top 10, there's some honorable mentions that should be called out. And some of you guys might have them in your top 10. I'm telling you, just comment and I'll check it out and see if I agree with you or not. Maybe I'll change my list. All right, so some of my mentions. Very good surprise. Now, this kid came up because of Kirky's injury, and we know that. But Brandon Valenzuela. Oh, my God. This kid, what he's done for us, it's been really, really good. Sad to see Heineman go, and I wish him all the best out there. But your time has come and gone, and that's fine, because I'll take this kid on my team anytime. I don't like about him, and what drives me nuts is when he challenges for strikes and balls. Drives me bonkers because he's not really good at it, or he doesn't do it at the right time. I'm not a professional ball player, so don't shoot me on that. But I'm sure some of you guys are like, really, Brandon? Like, second inning? And you're calling that. And I believe it has cost us some games later on in the innings when we don't have any more challenges. But anyways, going back, Brandon Valenzuela is a very good surprise for me. Another mentionee, and I'm going to group them together, Fisher and Fluharty, right? Braden Fisher and Mason Fluharty. Wow. What else can we ask from them? Well, Fisher, maybe not give up some timely home runs. His stuff is really good. And we can count on him. And he can come in. He can start a freaking game, right? He can be a starting pitcher when we need him, when it's a bullpen day. He can come in late. He's come in extra innings. He'll come in for 2-3 innings. The kid's good. I love his composure. He's just a solid pitcher. And Mason Fluharty. I loved this kid last year. What he did in the playoffs, amazing. And the workload that these two guys have done this year is unbelievable. And I'm hoping it's not going to hurt us in a few weeks or in a couple of months. Because if we're going to make the playoffs, we need them. If we're going to win games late in the innings, late innings, we need them. So let's hopefully, this mid-season all-star break coming up, let's make sure they get some rest. And hopefully our starting pitchers can go a little bit deeper and these two kids don't have to work so hard. And I'm going to give one more shout out. I wasn't sure, but Yohendrick Pinago. I'm not sure about him. He's got some power. Some of those home runs are very well hit. He takes good at bats. I'll give you that. And he fights in that batter box. Again, his defense, like Sanchez, I don't know, guys. I don't know how much more you can coach somebody out there. Again, I'm not a professional ball player. I'm not a coach, so I'm not sure. But I am a fan, a passionate fan. And this guy kind of scares me in the outfield. And running bases, right? And that's going back with Sanchez. The base running is not the best. And that's actually for the whole team, right? That's another reason there's a grade C in there. All right, so those are my honorable mentionees. You got Valenzuela, you got Fisher and Fluharty, and then we're going to throw in Piango in there. Again, guys, You agree or disagree? Please leave me a comment. All right. So saying all that, I guess we should talk about disappointing players, right? And top of the list has to be Vladdy Guerrero. And there's so many reasons why he has to be top player that we're disappointed in. I know people still love him. I still love him. He's actually my favorite player. Well, maybe except for Okamoto, but that's fine. So we're going to start with Vladdy. Hardly any home runs. I know a lot of you guys are saying, Sue, he's not really running to first base. You know what? He's not the only one that does that. The biggest one on our team. But if you look around, a lot of players don't outrun that ball to first base. But then you look at Nathan Lucas and some of the players, Jimenez, they're always outrunning him, right? So I get it, guys. I get it. And sometimes we've seen some plays where he could have probably outrun that throw. And I get it. And he would have been safe at first. I get that. So yeah, there's no home runs, not running hard at times. And we know he's hurt, right? He's grabbing his back, the side. I think earlier in the season there was something going on with his wrist a little bit maybe. To me, he doesn't look right at the plate. Yeah, is it 80% mental? But I think he's more hurt than we think he is. And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes on an IL by the All-Star break. And a lot of us are disappointed, right? First year of a huge contract. What is it? 14 years, $500 million. So yeah, of course. And look at the World Series he had, and even the WBC. He was great, right? So of course we're disappointed in him. But I bet you guys, the biggest person that's disappointed is him, right? You know it. You know he's feeling it. But positive, he still leads the team in RBIs. Okay, so there's no home run, but he's hitting them hard, guys. He's hitting them in the hole. He's bringing people in. And you know what? He's still our face of our franchise. He really is. He brings people in the ballpark. Now he needs to start hitting some home runs. He's also people that go see in the visiting ballparks. So I still have faith in him. Is he having an off year? Yeah. Hopefully it's just a half season, not a full year. But it happens. Give Vladdy number one for that. I have George Springer on the list. Yes, I know. His toe is hurting. I get it. Can't be fun. But he's not playing the field right now, right? He's only our DH. Not only. But you know what I mean. He's hitting. He's not running out in the field all the time. He doesn't look right. It's his last year of a contract. You know, he's in his 30s. Is it time for him to retire soon? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he has a couple more years. But is he going to be the Springer from last year? Springer from years ago? No, he's not. Now, he's another guy, disappointed in himself. He's more disappointed in himself than we are of him, just like Vladdy. And these two are our go-to people, right? If these two are going, our team is going. It just picks everybody else up. So yeah, it hurts when those two are not hitting like they are. I'm going to give Springer number 2 for disappointing players. And then I'm going to add 2 more in there. One is Jeff Hoffman. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are agreeing with me. And I'm not just going back with the playoffs and the World Series. Okay. That was last year. This is a new season. I've always been a Jeff Hoffman fan. I've always backed him up. I've always disagreed with people saying he's got really great stuff. With Hoffman, I really do think is mental. And I think the last couple games, he's been doing much, much better. And I'm noticing he's pitching more in the 7th, 8th inning, not like the 5th and 6th. Does it still scare me? Yeah, guys, I'm just like you. It scares me when Snyder calls for him in the 7th and is tied, right? Or in the 8th and it's tied, or we're down by a run, or there's 2 people on and we're tied. Even though he's looking great of late, I'm going to still say it's still, the beginning of the year was very disappointing. But the plus side of that is we saw Varland take that role and run with it. So anyways, Hoffman, he's up there in the disappointing players. And I'm going to include Dalton Varsho. And I know a lot of you guys are going to agree with me, or I should say disagree with me. And the reason why I'm putting him as, for me, a disappointing player, because I was expecting a lot more from him this year. One, because I believe this is his last year and he's going to get a contract. So I thought his hitting would be a little bit higher. But his defense, is it just me, guys? Or does his defense look a little different this year? Okay, he's not making those wow plays and outstanding plays and the ones that, you're diving for and you're jumping for. I get all that. But just, I find there's a lot more balls just falling in front of him, right? Like, I'm like, really? Varsho of last year would have caught that. So now I'm bringing up the injury thing. We know ball players play through lots of injuries all throughout the year. I don't think they're ever 100%. I get that. But I'm wondering if Varsho is hurting a little bit more than he's saying. I know his shoulder's never been the same after his surgery. But his legs, like, is he not getting to these balls in the outfield? Anyways, and his batting, we could talk about that. Sometimes he's hot, and I know he's a streaky ball player. Yeah, he's going to go 3 to 5 games hitting home runs and getting doubles, and then he's going to go 2-3 games, 0 for 3. But just because I was thinking this is his last season, he's looking for a contract, coming off the World Series, being injured a few times last year, I just thought he would have a better beginning of the season, first half. So he's there for me. So disappointing players, I've got Vladdy, Springer, Hoffman, and Varsho. And again, I know you know what I'm going to say here. If you agree or if you disagree, please leave me a comment. All right. So who am I looking for in the second half, right? Who's going to come up and go, wow, this is the person I thought they were going to be. Wow, this reminds me of them last year. Or even, wow, I didn't expect this from them. Who I'm going to look for in the second half, who Sue's most expecting to go to their potential and beyond, to deliver, to give us that spark, to give us that, oh my God, we're going to make the playoffs. Here we go, right? Dalton Varsho. And for the reasons I mentioned why he was a disappointing player. His defense, I believe he's going to pick up. Maybe he is injured a little bit. Maybe he realized, oh wow, if I don't, get a little bit better here, make some defensive plays, I'm not going to get that contract. So I think his defense is going to get much better. Has to, right? He's too much of a good player. And he's fighting for a contract. He's trying to get a contract. So I do believe his second half is going to be way much better. I think we're going to see some more home runs. We're going to see a little bit more doubles and triples, and maybe not so many balls dropping in front of him. Shane Bieber, I'm looking for him. What I've seen the last couple outings, and I know he just came back from injury, he looks pretty good, guys. And don't forget, this guy is really, really good, right? And just like the Gosmans and Cease, he's a leader, right? He's done it. He's seen it. And he wants that ball every 5 days. He wants to go 6-7 innings. He wants to save the bullpen. So I'm thinking he's going to have a great second half. Alejandro Kirk. Okay, Captain Kirky. When he came back from injury, that first 2 days, wow, right? I mean, Schneider did not put him in the second game, but the third game. So his 2 games back, he was great. And he's had a slump here. But I know he's fighting that injury. You see him still grabbing that wrist, that thumb that he had surgery on. But he's going to have a great second half, I believe. He's too much of a good hitter, right? He calls great games. The pitching staff seems like they all love him. They don't really call him off. I do believe he's that, I don't want to say spark in the lineup for hitting, but when he's hitting in that 4th, 5th, 6th spot, it's nice, right, guys? Like, we can rely on Kirk. I mean, when he hits it on the ground, we know he's out. But he gives you good at-bats. He knows the game. And I think he's going to have a great second half. I'm going to say Jeff Hoffman. Again, this could be why I still believed in him last year and people were calling me foolish. I think this guy just has great stuff. And maybe I feel bad for him and I'm rooting for him. What happened last year in the World Series playoffs in the beginning of this season? You have to have a heart, right? You have to feel for this guy. So if anything, Maybe I haven't learned my lesson. I just still believe in him, and maybe I'm just rooting for him so much. I just want him to have a good second half and go, you know what, guys, I still got it. And then what I like to see in the second half, and some of this is from the injuries, I would love to see Barger. Come on, Addison. You need to come back. You're a game changer in the field. You're a game changer at the plate. I just would love to see Barger back. And two people that people forget to talk about, and Jimmy Garcia and Anthony Santander. So these two guys. Quick little story. Garcia, about 3-4 years ago, I did not like this guy. I did not want him to get the ball. He gave up a lot of home runs. I was yelling at the TV. I just didn't want him on this team. And then last year, and a little bit the year before that, he was so good, right? And then he got injured. But could we not have used him right now? He is so needed on this team. So I'm really hoping that he comes back and does so well. And Anthony Santander. Okay, another quick little story. When we got him coming from Baltimore 2 years ago, 2 years now? Yeah. I was so excited. So excited. I wanted to go out there and buy his jersey. I was like, because every time we played Baltimore, this guy hurt us. And I remember telling my friends, my partner, that Anthony Santander is a great hitter, great teammate. I just wanted, not to play against him. And then when I heard he was coming to the Jays, oh my, I was so, so happy. And then the way he looked at the beginning of last season, 2025, he didn't look right. So we knew he was hurt, right? We didn't know how bad it was, but we know he's hurt. So I know there's talk out there that maybe the front office is going to get rid of Santander, and I get it. And I don't want to hear it, because I think if this guy can hit like he used to, couldn't we use him in the lineup right now? So another thing I'm watching for, and I know it depends on injuries, and that it was Addison Barger, Yimi Garcia, and Santander. If they can come back with the club, I think this will help our second half. Okay, so there's Dalton Varsho. It's going to have a big second season, half season, especially with his defense. Shane Bieber, man, just keep doing what you've been doing. That's awesome. Kirky, I hope he starts, feeling better with that thumb and just start hitting a little bit better. Hoffman, I still believe in him. Let's go, buddy. I'm probably the only one in Canada that still believes in you, but I think your stuff is too good. And then I'm going to be watching for the front office. All right. And what are they going to do before the trade deadline? Hopefully we're not sellers. Hopefully they can pick up some pieces for us. It would never hurt to have another starting pitcher, but if our pitchers are all okay and healthy, I'm fine. I would like to see another bullpen, maybe another left-hander, because Fluharty can't do it all the time. And God, I don't want Brandon Little to come back up. So I would like to see, right, a couple, maybe two lefties in the bullpen. That would be awesome. So let's see what the office is going to do, the front office is going to do at the trade deadline. Hopefully we're not sellers. So I'm going to be watching for them. So that's what I'm watching for. So what am I expecting for the Jays? Because, guys, can we admit something? First half was not the greatest, right? There's some things that we could cheer for, and sometimes they look great, especially the first 3 games of the season, right? Where, I looked at my partner and said, we're going to go to the World Series again. It was amazing. And then they go into slumps. And then they have a couple good games. You're like, oh, wow, this feels like the team of last year. I'm expecting a better second half. It has to be, right? Should I knock on wood here? It can't be worse. I mean, I guess it can, but it can't, right? It's going to be better. I think for my expectations to be reached, for the Jays to have a better second half, there's going to be a few obvious things I'm going to say, and you guys are going to be like, duh, Sue, of course. Again, leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. But what I'm expecting for us to have a better half season, defense. Okay? Defense has to be better. We have really good defenders. We do. We have a whole bunch of gold gloves out there. And don't get me wrong, they've done really well at times. But some of them, I'm like, really? That wouldn't have happened last year. And okay, talking about last year, a little side note here. a little rant. And I've said it, and I tick myself off when I say it. We're like, this is not the same team from last year. This reminds me of the team of last year. Those two sayings, we can't keep saying that, guys. Okay? They're not the same team of last year. The roster is different. From the pitching staff to the bullpen to the positional players, they're not the same team. So when we say, wow, they're not the same team, of course they're not the same team. Or when they start playing well and we're like, wow, this feels like the team of last year. Well, you know what? It's still a different team. What feels like last year is the winning. It's those smiles. It's the fun. It's the grit. It's playing small ball. It's playing the right way. And any team can do that. So they had a good base from last year. They got a lot of players from last year. So they just got to keep doing that. So there's my little rant. All right. So I was going on about what I expect in the second half. Okay. Better defense, right? We talked about that. They need to get to balls. I'm not talking about, well, they can. It looks great. TV catches, right? Those are all great. Up against the wall, fall down, slide, jumping for balls. Okay, just great defense, right? When the ball is hit to you or a couple feet to your left and right, you kind of grab it and throw it perfect to first base. Just solid defense. That's what I want. And like I said, those great catches are amazing. I just want good defense. Starting pitchers going longer in games. Okay, you got Cease, you got Gosman, you got Bieber, you got Savage, and I'm not even talking about Corbin, and we're not talking about Scherzer here. But you got 4 starters. These guys need to go 6 innings. 6 innings, okay? 90 pitches, 6 innings, and please, can we not give up runs in the first and second inning? Okay? This 5-0, 6-0, and then we come back in the 7th and 8th and almost tie it or kind of win it. We can't do this, okay, guys? Starting pitchers, are you guys listening to me? Kevin, Dylan, Trey? We can't. Let's, please, let's not give up these home runs and early, okay? So, better defense, starting pitchers going longer in games. For your hitters, better at-bats. Wow. Oh, Sue, wow, you're a genius. Better defense, pitchers going long, better bats. Of course, and this is every team. Better at-bats, right? I like those broadcasters and analysts all say, have a game plan. Swing at your balls. Give good at-bats. Let's fight the starting pitchers. Another little rant here, guys. My pet peeve. Our pitchers are out there. 20, 30 pitches an inning. Then it's our turn. What do? 3 up, 3 down. Starting pitcher of the visiting team goes 9 pitches. What the heck? Really? You're not helping your teammate here. You're not helping your starting pitchers. So those are the good at-bats, right? Be better at-bats. Take a ball. Even take a strike. Try to foul some of these off. I want to see more fight at the plate appearance, okay? In the second half, for us to be a better team, I think a run of wins, right? In a row. A run of series. Okay? And we had one a little bit. Some series, what was it? 4 or 5 series in a row we won at home. That's what I'm talking about, right? Not winning 2-3 games at a time. But can we do 5, 6, 7, 8? I've seen this team go 9, 10, 11, 13 games in a row. This is, going back a few years. But this team can do that. We could win 6, 8 in a row. I like to see that. I think we need to have that. And series in a row. And that is, in baseball, that's what it is. Would you love to win every game? Sure. But if it's a 3-game series, you want to win 2. If it's a 4-game series, especially on the road, you want to win 2 games. If you could take that third one, wow, bonus, right? But this is what we're talking about. So better defense, starting pitchers going longer in games, and better at-bats, right? Let's get a run of wins here going. So my prediction, we are going to get into the playoffs. Probably going to be the last wild card spot. You know what? And I'm okay with that because we just want to get in. So I am predicting this. You guys can put that down. Sue, on True Fan, True Opinions podcast, is predicting that the Blue Jays of 2026, who are under 500 at the midway mark, it's going to make the playoffs. Again, agree, disagree? I'd like to hear a comment from you. But my biggest concern for my prediction not to come true, or for the better defense and the starting pitchers going long and the better at-bats. Okay, my biggest concern And it's what happened is injuries. We had lot of weird injuries, a lot of injuries to main players. But what I've seen from Vladdy, what I've seen from Varsho, what I've seen from Kirky, what I've seen from Clement, Jimenez, there's some injuries are going to happen, man. There's going to be some people going on the IL. And for us to make the wild card playoffs, we can't have significant injuries, right? I know Vladdy's struggling, but he's our RBI leader, guys. I know Jimenez maybe not hitting for batting average, but he's up there too for RBIs and hits and timely hits. And he's great at defense and shortstop. Like, we can't have significant injuries. And there's going to be injuries. I get that. But, like, can you imagine if we had Barger? Can you imagine if George didn't hurt his toe and, can hit a little bit better? Vladdy, whatever's going on with him. Clement, some of these errors of late. So my biggest concern is injuries and starting pitching. So even though I think, who are they? Gosman, Cease, Savage, Bieber, the big four. Guys, I know they're not going far into games right now, but if there's a significant injury to those four, and don't forget, Bieber, Cease, and Savage have had injuries. If those guys go down, my prediction is out the window. You can just throw it out right now. All right. So the second half needs to be better. They need to clean up their defense, right? Play a smart game, make some smarter moves, base running, play some small ball, right? Be grit. Be that team from last year with different players, but be that team. Okay, a lot to discuss, a lot to digest. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking. Are you agreeing with some of my grades? Some of the things I was talking about. I was talking about the overall team grade, which I gave a C. I talked about the positional group report cards. So what I've given the team by groups, the starting pitchers, I gave them a B. Bullpen, I gave a B. Positional players, a C+. Coaching staff, a C. In the front office, a B. But again, that was from the preseason going into early in the season. I gave you my top 10. Let me know. Do you agree? Did I miss somebody? Who do you think should not be on the list? I mentioned some of that I missed in the top 10 that were nice surprises. I talked about the disappointing players. Guys, I know Vladdy, George, Springer. I get it. Okay, guys? But I want to know, who's your biggest disappointment player? I told you guys what I was looking for in the second half by certain players. Who are you looking for in the second half? And what I expect in the second half, which I think a lot of you guys probably totally agree with me. Again, if you disagree, that's fine. So before I wrap this episode up, and I hope you guys enjoy it, I enjoy talking Jays. I can talk Jays forever. I've been the biggest fan since 1980, so long time. But before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with Sue's true moment. So one thing this Blue Jays team remind me of this first half is that the progress isn't always a straight line. There were games where they looked unbeatable and games where you wonder what the heck happened. Like, really? What just happened? But life's like that too, right? There's some days you're like, what? I don't get this. And then some days you're just flying high. You just, everything feels gravy. Everything's good. So don't let one bad day or even one bad month make you believe your whole season is lost. Keep showing up. The second half can always be better than the first. And that's going to do it for today's episode of True Fan, True Opinions. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to follow the podcast. And don't forget to follow all my other social media at True Fan, True Opinions. Please leave a rating or a review. It really does help more fans find the show and join the conversation. I'd love to hear what you think. Did you agree? Disagree? Have a different take? Sports are meant to spark conversation, so let me know your thoughts. If you'd like to keep the conversation going, there's a link in the episode description below to my Facebook page, True Fan, True Opinions, where you can find every episode and share those thoughts and opinions. Until next time, keep cheering, keep believing, and remember, a true fan isn't afraid to be honest. Whatever you're facing, chin up, don't give up. I'm rooting for you.